And without further ado, let me do a proper introduction. Hello there, and welcome to Game 2 in what seems to be likely to be an epic series between Helping Hands and Jesulin. Helping Hands played well in the first game, but Jesulin played better. It's now 1-0 to Jesulin. The map is Faymanville approach. You've got Helping Hands as OKW in the south, and Jesulin, of course, as USF in the north. He's got Armour Company, Heavy Cavalry, and Airborne at his disposal. Due to a gentleman's agreement, you will not be seeing Rifle Company in this matchup, which is a very good thing. In general, Helping Hands is good as OKW. It is a pretty interesting faction to go in a crunch tournament game, because if he was to lose this and go 2-0 down, you know, he's going to be heavily under the cosh from now on. Jesulin has been quite imperious, to be honest. He didn't put a foot wrong in that first game. Hands was playing well because he was pegged back, but with the inevitable Tiger and Stuka from Lightning support, he was able to do. Helping Hands putting Ghost reinforced steel barricades down there, which is nothing. There's nothing wrong with that, as because Relic have not acknowledged that it's a bug and have not endeavoured to say they're going to fix it. It is not a bug, and therefore is part of competitive play in this game. And that's how I choose to run tournaments. Unless it was something ridiculous like Vickers scoping, and if they said that was a feature, I'd pretty much have to say yeah. I don't know. I just think that unless it was nefariously terrible, we should just about be able to allow that, in my personal opinion. He's putting sandbags up here with Volts Grenadiers to deny green cover. So this is Hands playing, by the way, at the highest competitive extent he can do. He's taking this ultra seriously, ultra competitively. It's not what you'd see from him on stream. He's been playing this game at a high standard for 4 years. This is his first tournament final. In all that time, he's always, to be nasty, he has always choked in semi-finals and quarter-finals. We did not see that in this tournament. He handily dispatched Redbeard. Von Aston, who had beaten him quite a lot in auto match recently, he pretty much after game 1 dominated him and got straight into the final. Jesulin was tested by Cataclaw in the run-up to things. He did lose a game to Cataclaw on Kolodny Firma. It's going to be interesting to see what Helping Hands goes. Of course, he does have Luftwaffe Ground Forces, which is an ever-popular commander. SWS truck. Possibly going to be the battle group headquarters very shortly. Pitched engagement here. We've got two Volts Grenadiers opening up against the Riflemen that are going to have to retreat. Hands has already taken a slight victory point lead. He's gone for 3 Volts and now a Raketant in answer to the inevitable early M20 from Jesulin. You could argue that that Raketant's coming on a little bit too early. It's only 3 minutes, but at least it's going to be on the field of play. Another pitched engagement here. We have got Jesulin behind yellow cover, however, so you will notice a squad mate just died. Hands behind heavy green cover is going to win that, but it's just a matter of time. The longer Jesulin could stay there, the less chance Hands would be of taking away his fuel from him. But it's going to get taken away anyway. So in a way, he converted manpower into fuel there. Hands, of course, now has his MG34 rocket onto the field. Luftwaffe ground support is the doctrine he's gone for. Hands now finally capping his crappy southern point with the Raketan, so the Raketan not being completely useless. So good play from Hands, in fact. And we've got Jesulin not capped his yet. Those points can sometimes go a long time without being capped. He's destroying the ghost barricades. And that's what I'm saying, that's why they're not... They can be destroyed, but it does take a while. So it would be good if Relic actually acknowledged that they're a problem and changed them. Tell you what, they were a problem in Coming Years 1 on, like, when I was a noob, back in like 2009 on Ashless River. Sturm Pioneers, the ultra DPS dealers coming down to bear on the Vet 1 Riflemen. They're going to have to get away, but they got Vet 2 Riflemen. So Hands now has both fuels. Well, he has one in connection, and he has his opponents away from him, rather. He'd need this point, which will be capped very shortly by the MG34. We've got a pack howitzer in answer, but you'll notice that Hans is playing really well as OKW now. He's fully into the swing of things, and that's me clapping out of both respect and excitement for the fact that Hans could be stamping his authority on Game 2 and taking a game back off Jesulin, which would be fantastic for this series, and I think we'd all love to see that. And I'd have to delay my second coffee for at least another game, because if it goes the full duration, we're going to need some caffeine. I think even you guys will probably need some caffeine by the end of it. MG34 opening up. The battle group headquarters is in a slightly, well, or rather tiny bit of a forward position. Faymanville's a good one for OKW because the distance between the healing is never going to be too large. Good for any faction, actually. Stern Pioneers with their STGs opening up. Pack hitting the, thankfully for Hans, hitting the green cover there. Second shot again, not hitting. 3/4 ton ambulance coming out for Jesulin. He doesn't have grenades. Nice long-range incendiary grenade, that's what they're good at. So again, Jesulin is failing to take his fuel. He is, however, now taking Hans's finally, and he's now come into the citadel of half, well, even slightly built reinforced barricades, and he's choosing to destroy this terrible one in the centre. So good choice from Jesulin. That is the worst one of the few, and it is now gone. So that's why it isn't, you know, the worst problem in terms of possible bugs. Can't quite call it a bug because it is destroyable. MG34 coming, raining fire down. Hans does not have the central victory point currently. He does have the north, which has just been whited. He's brought Jesulin down by 75 victory points to 425. Pack howitzer, no kills as of yet. Of course, it has hit a lot of green cover. Now trying to open up to where the MG34 was, but that's now gone to cap the fuel. In terms of other tech, this Volksgrenadier has a Shrek on it, so he's still anticipating the M20, but Jesulin knows he's anticipating the M20 and is refusing to build one. How rude. There is a green cover here, Jesulin, if you fancy it. You could possibly get behind that. You don't want to be stuck behind yellow cover against green cover Volksgrenadiers again. Still no grenades, but grenades aren't the most popular option there. Incendiary grenade, however, 30 munitions spent from HelpingHans. In the north, we've got another sandbag being built. For noob players, I'll give you a slight tip in a second. If you build a sandbag slightly behind the actual flag of a point, it's inaccessible from other players. Another incendiary grenade, excellent on the rear echelons there. Riflemen not quite enacting their will on the Volksgrenadiers quite yet. There they go, they are going to have to retreat nicely now. Vaulting from the Volksgrenadiers, a great 2013 new feature there. 3 rifles from Jesulin. He does, of course, have now the captain and the steward coming out. 80 from Hans is entirely focused around. Oh god, they're resetting up. He does not want this MG34 to reset up. Where is your luck, Hans? There's your luck. Get the hell out of there, friend. You need that to survive if we're to get to a decent level of parity in this series. So obviously a little bit of caster bias in this particular game, but hopefully over the series it balances out. Always root for the underdog. Captain capping the fuel, we've got the Rifleman capping the victory point. He's got the Stern Pioneers TPS dealers coming to bear. The Stewart, however, with a lovely camouflage, not seen that one before. That's coming in. Volksgrenadiers on low health, they could be in imminent danger. Hans with a good retreat. So I get excited when I see players retreat instantly because it means they are on it. Riflemen could be going down from Jesulin. Will their Stun Pioneers focus them? Doesn't quite make the kill. Oh, but Fallschirmjägers come out of the house. They get the kill. Great work by HelpingHans. That puts Jesulin's army down to 48. And he's in a position now where he can really push his will, especially if he gets Shreks on the rest of his Volksgrenadiers against this Stewart, in fact, he is the Shrek. Raketten's shot goes off. Shrek, although it is a bonus cover road, so he is going to be able to get out of there. Fallschirmjäger's got pushed away straight away, so they weren't in a position to get the Panzerfaust off. It would have been great if they could, for Helping Hands. Nice shots coming in from the Pack Howitzer. He does have the Schwerpanzer headquarters in a good position. It can watch over the fuel, and it isn't too far forward that it makes itself a target to the Pack Howitzer and eventual heavy tank gun. The Admiral Akbar prize is not available for this one. We've done that now. It's over. Only one Admiral Akbar prize in this tournament, and it was already won. We'll think of another fun idea to get rid of a commander soon. Don't worry, I'll think of something. Target secured. Okay, in general, in terms of overall map presence, you can see that Jesulin's now trying hard to get back into this. Now he's lost that squad. Landing on a shoe mine's not going to help him with the captain, so a bit more attrition there from him. In the south, he's putting decent pressure down, and soon we'll be seeing the elitist specialist units, the elite specialist units from Helping Hands rolling out of Schwerpanzer headquarters. So he'll really be able to push down his will on the game. He has 100 fuel, so he's going to have options available to him soon. Captain could be going down. Another wipe for Helping Hands. Surely going to die. No? Surely not. One more shot needed. You don't want to stick around, Hans. Retreats. He gets the kill at max range. There's his luck in this game. He's starting to have Orange Jesus shining down on him from the sky now. So Stewart really could have put the pressure down on the Fallschirmjägers, but they did manage to get the squad wipe at max range, so they've now killed the captain and a Veterancy. I think it was the Veterancy 3 rifles, maybe Veterancy 2, I'm not quite sure. But they're certainly dead, that's for sure. Good shot from the Pack Howitzer, instantly suppressing the MG and killing a squad mate. Full screen is behind the green cover here. Stewart's going to come to bear, come around the shot blocker there. However, they've just teched his Shrek, and there's another Shrek in the meantime. Could this be Jesulin crashing out in game 2? Just needs one more Shrek to land. Will he get it? Bit of luck for Jesulin there. That's what makes coming here such a great game. It's unpredictability. However, Rifleman could be going down too. Indeed not. There, Jesulin does get a little bit more luck in his favour. He does manage to escape this time. He does, however, lose a bar to this Volksgrenadier. Rangers now coming onto the field. 400 manpower spent for Jesulin. He has chosen the late game commander that is Heavy Cavalry Company, as named by myself. I accidentally won that competition. Fallschirmjägers have their original 3 kills. Well, maybe 2 and then the additional 1, perhaps. But the element of surprise from Fallschirmjägers jumping out of a house and killing us and squad wiping a squad has now been fully enacted by Helping Hands. So he's done it. The Rangers are taking their Thompsons. In fact, they just popped them now, just in time for this engagement. Fallschirmjägers putting some heavy attrition down. MG34 going to keep the Northern VP, and it must be noted that Hans has now pushed Jesulin down nearly to 370, which is a sizable amount. Soon, if it keeps up at it, soon will be into the 200. We could be seeing the Vet 3, Panzer Shrek, Volksgrenadiers die. They do indeed, and Rangers with a Shrek is not what you want. You've got an elite unit Terminator squad now. Thompsons and a Shrek. Bloody hell, it's not quite bazookas from Code 1, but they've now dropped the Shrek because they've got so many Thompsons, they drop it, they pick it back up again. No, the Volksgrenadiers get it, of course. How can they pick it back up when they haven't got enough slots? So that's amazing. Pinata Rangers, so that shows you now that Rangers aren't the greatest unit to be picking up units on. So they were a Terminator, and then they got reduced down to Robocop straight away. Pack Howitzer, a great fire down on the MG34. Second shot misses. It's trying its hardest to retreat. Will it get behind the fence? Does indeed. The suppressed bar couldn't get the kill. If it was unsuppressed, maybe it would have. 2 Fallschirmjägers now. 1 pop from the building to try and do some damage on the Rangers probably, but not quite getting anything done. He's going to have to retreat. So we've still got the steal in favour of Hans. He's got a stolen bar, and Jesulin did not get a stolen Shrek due to the Thompsons taking up too many slots. Getting cloaked. Bar engagement here. But the Pack Howitzer can swing it in his favour. So this Pack Howitzer in this game has been a lot more active and a lot more dangerous from Jesulin relative to how HelpingHans was in the first game. And could we be seeing 2 Axis wins on Feymanville approach in a row? That's what happens when you remove Rifle Company from the equation. It makes the game a lot more interesting, which bodes well for the December patch. Also, HelpingHans are showing you OKW aren't that shabby if you use them properly in the current state of meta. So although they're not the most logical of factions, and the new changes are going to be interesting. Good retreat from Hans. The new changes are going to be interesting. They're not that bad at the moment. It's just they, rely on a few certain strategies a little bit too much. So he obviously has airborne assault for the late game, so he can convert munitions into manpower, but he's been using most of his munitions, to be honest. Good shots in from the Fallschirmjägers. And we've got a lull in activity whilst we wait to see some teching happen. We have no major from Jesulin. He does, of course, have the Pershing to think about in 4 CP's time. Hans obviously has the Schwerpanzer headquarters and 190 fuel now, so indeed I predict we'll be seeing obviously the Pershing versus Panther meta, which is highly reminiscent of the great game 1 between Hans and Von Asten from the semi-finals, where Hans's Panther finally killed the Pershing. Oh, God, I'm going to think of a nice tongue twister for that later in the game. Panther punishing the Pershing. Prime example of play there. The Panther's punishing the Pershing. That's quite a good one. We could go with that. I'll try and come out of that later. Pretty perfect play from... Sorry, I could go on. I need to cast the game. Right, in the north, we've got an engagement with rear echelons. They're not going to do very well against Fallschirmjägers and MG34. Volksgrenadiers trying to push towards keeping the fuel there for Hansi. Killing the chimney. Fallschirmjägers do not get out of the house in time, but it was too late anyway. Because it was too late. In terms of victory points, Hans has regained control. He's only slipped by 44 this entire game. MG34 will keep these Volkswagen Grenadiers from having people bearing down on them. Chat's asking how the hell did Hans have so much fuel? He did have both strong fuel points, and he has got a sizable portion of the strategic points around the map. Veterancy 2 for the Rangers already. That's now 10 kills. Improved range, improved survivability, weapon control under fire. Rangers become workhorses if they get to Veterancy 3. Not a great size of army from Jesulin. Hans does have the 2 MG34s. No ISG from Hans, which is quite surprising to me. But obviously he's got enough suppressive power anyway. And I suppose he's just going to flat out ignore the pack out. So Jesulin is worried about what Hans is going for. He's worried about a Luke's perhaps, so he's got the pack out, which will allow him to wait for the Pershing. Fallschirmjägers, decent amount of kills. Obviously we've got that squad wipe as well. Possibly an incendiary grenade coming in on the house, indeed. Oh, the incendiary grenade from Hans was in the doorway! Sorry, I got excited. When I see good play, I get excited. That was fantastic. He put the incendiary grenade in the doorway, expecting Jesulin to jump out, and Jesulin jumps from the frying pan into the fire there. Here comes the Panther. It's going to have a little bit of time whilst it's going to be uncontested, to be honest. Obviously, it will have the pintle mount very shortly, so the hull MG opening up, killing a squad mate there, but the pintle mount turret MG will make it into quite the anti-infantry presence relative to what it's designed for. Obviously not anti-infantry overall, but it'll make it better at doing that at least. Rangers, notice just how long it takes to 28 reinforce, but each reinforce takes a long time, so they are off the battlefield, they will stay out of there. Sorry, that was the wrong squad. I'm an idiot. Sorry, my bad. Why did I thought it was odd being 28. I'm sure they're like 30 or odd, 35 maybe, something like that. I knew that was wrong. That was my one brain spasm for the cast. Finally, I think crushing one squad. I'm not even sure it was a crush, but they're going to have to retreat through Stern Pioneers. They're also going to have to retreat through this MG34 that could be setting up. And Pershing knows it's uncontested. There's nothing all coming to try and push the Pershing back. Panther! Push the Panther back. Incendiary grenade on this Bard Rifleman. They are still going to have to retreat. There's another Bard Rifleman in the retreat path. Bolsheviks in the strong house. More victory points whittled down. No, I was wrong about the reinforced time. Don't listen to me, Refrigerator. If you must know, their reinforced cost is 32. It does take a long time. There we go.
Crew, get ready.
He could have gone for the ambulance, Kubar 9998 has said, but you've got to consider, Kubar, that although we saw Hans rushing with that Jackson really madly in the first game, this is a tournament, and players should be expected to play a little bit more conservatively, especially when you're down a game. So now Hans is down a game, he can't afford to be quite as maverick as he was before. Only when he truly senses blood will he go for the jugular. More great shots off there. You could argue that Hans is overall winning the manpower battle at the moment. Now we see the Pershing coming onto the field. Very deliberately said that. Raketin going to have to fully retreat. That's the great thing about Raketin. It can get trolleyed out of there. And here comes the squad white machine. Just full retreat from Hans. Fallschirmjäger's going to retreat as well as soon as the victory points get whited. But the Pershing doesn't care. The Pershing does not care about your retreats. It will kill you anyway. That's why it's called the squad white machine. Panther obviously coming into play. So perfect Panther positioning. Putting great fire down on the Pershing there. Penetrating not. More Fallschirmjägers, this time nice grenade down on the AT gun, possibly saving the Panther. It's going to be able to maraud a little bit better now. Combination of MG34 and Raketin trying to cap the centre. Fallschirmjägers in a stronger house. Vet 4 Volksgrenadiers, so we're glad they survived. They're the only Volksgrenadier squad remaining for Hans. He lost one when we weren't looking, and of course he lost that one to the Pershing just. Where is the Pershing? It's got 3 kills, but every kill was of a 3-man squad. And this is looking likely to be a very long engagement, and Hans is going to be wanting to win this. Of course, he does have a lot of OKW veterancy reigning, and it would have been better if he saved his Volksgrenadiers. And of course, his fuel, look at his fuel, 160, so he'll be able to have 2 Pershings perhaps. Reversing back into base. Looking for the Stern Pioneers to come back and repair. There's still Stern Pioneer squad on the field. Good positioning of the MG34. Central victory point and northern victory point are currently white, but the northern victory point is going in Jesulin's favour. Overall, you've now got Jesulin dipping down to 50% on 255. Pershing gets a rear armour hit from something, possibly the Shrek. In the north, you've got Fallschirmjägers working their arses off, but they're going to have to retreat whilst the Rangers come down on them. Must be noted the Stronghouse is diminished in health, only about 15% remaining on that structure. All the while Pack's now got 8 kills. Trying to put decent fire down. Great, well, not great incendiary grenade, didn't do much, just going to walk through it. He actually is quite low on overall manpower. Smoke has been used somewhere, it'd be interesting to see where that was. Possibly where the support weapons were. Right, there's 3 Fallschirmjäger squads on the field, they're quite expensive. Got 1 on 6, 1 on 7, and the other on 3. So not that many kills really, but it's more about quality of map control offered by the Fallschirmjägers, high DPS really. A lot of fire coming on the Rangers there, it'd be great if they got a kill. Everyone's 32 manpower. Oh dear God, we don't want to see the Vet 2 MG34 go down for Hans. It does indeed. Oh, what? What a disgusting shoe mine! That was ridiculous! Oh my God, that is unreal. I can't wait in 20 seconds time when I see the chat light up there, because that shoe mine was disgusting. Oh my God. And he's not going to get it. So he lost the squad. It was a trap. The Admiral Akbar, it's a trap moment of the stream so far, was for that shoe mine. There we go. That was ridiculous. So Helping Hands, he's been looking for his luck for 4 years now. And finally, he's found his luck, guys. It was there on Faymanville Approach where he found his luck in a tournament final against Jesulin. Great stuff. He's now got 2 victory points. Jesulin's now dipping below 250. Pack Howitzers are still raining down fire, but it doesn't matter because the big wipes, the big wipe moments have gone in Hans' favour so far. Gun crew lost here, so the Raketen has been wiped, but there's nothing to be worried about because it's under the Eiffel watch of the Schwerpanzer headquarters. Panzer IV built from Helping Hands, a great choice there because the Panzer IV has anti-infantry capabilities as well, which will mean Hans will be able to stay in this for a lot longer. He also has 96 fuel in total, so he will be able to build a second one if he wants. He's going to have to retreat here. Don't throw an aid, just... Oh, smoke grenade. Interesting. What are they doing though? Why are they even staying in this engagement? Yeah, retreat now, but he's retreating for a smoke. He's waiting for the Panzer IV, it seems. In the centre, you've got Fallschirmjägers and the barred up rifles wiping the AT gun. Raketen's still unmanned. Panzer IV does come to bed, does kill 2 models on the Rangers. They're going to retreat. Vet 1, Vet 5, sorry, 1-man Vet 5 Volksgrenadiers retreating. Pershing trying to do some level of damage. It is going to go north to deal with the Panzer IV threat. In the south, we've got the MG34 and the Fallschirmjägers capping. So bloody hell. I'm going to take 10 seconds just to clear my head. Let's have a reset on this. So this is requiring a lot of concentration to keep up with this fantastic level of play from both players. MG34 in the centre, Fallschirmjägers in the very low health, but the house, maybe the pack could deal with them. It's not quite got an arc on them. So we've got the 2-tank tandem from Helping Hands. Jesulin does have a lot of fuel himself, but he never got the Major, so he hasn't got that option available to him. Major there, if you look on the bottom right of your screen, confirmed, never been built. So he's stuck. Oh, great wipe from the Pershing on the Fallschirmjägers. And that's why it's a squad wiper machine. It's just unreal. 17 kills now for that thing. We also have smoke come down on the MG. So there's Jesulin showing the features, if you will. Shoe mine there. We need to keep an eye on that. The features of the doctrine. He's still got 2 Fallschirmjägers, so it's not the worst thing in the world. But the Rangers, of course. Another great shot in. Oh, God. Sorry, I am a Helping Hands fan for this game only. I do promise you I will be more less biased. But there we go, the Pershing again, wiping another Fallschirmjäger. So Hans, it's now swinging in Jesulin's favour. Of course, Hans still has the victory point lead. He's got 428. Jesulin's just slipped down to 200. Now 199. So the Panther is what? Sorry, the Pershing is well on its way to 300. you know, Hans has a large backlog of VPs to fall back on. So, you know, even if it goes into... And yeah, Cup Rix has said lol GG in chat, you couldn't be further from the truth. Hans has a Pershing, Hans has a Panther, he has a Panzer IV, he still has Vet 5 Volksgrenadiers. The fact that all his Fallschirmjägers have now died, you know, doesn't necessarily mean it's GG at all. He's got 2 MG34, so he can more than contest map coverage, and he's got, of course, he's got the pack howitzer raining down on one of them, unfortunately for him. So as soon as these 2 squads are repaired, he'll be able to, and in fact are repaired now thanks to the Vet 3 Stern Pioneering, he'll be able to contest again. He's just going to have to lick his wounds for a while though, and let his manpower creep back up, because we noticed Jesulin's got 470 odd. In fact, he could be thinking about Major now to really solidify himself. It's a shame the Roquetten was there, because the Panther could indeed... God, look at the long range from the Pershing. I keep saying Pershing and Panther interchangeably. It's probably my own fault. Spent half the game trying to think of tongue twisters. Pentelman coming on the Panzer IV. Pershing now full health. Got this Volksgrenadier. They do have a Panzerschreck as well as the bar, so they are indeed a Terminator squad. In fact, they're the only squad Hans has got. He's had to build a fresh Volksgrenadier, which is currently not on the field of play. Minesweepers have had to have been built from the... They're going to get pushed away. You do not want to lose models on your Stern Pioneer at any point in the game, ever. 2 AT guns from Jesulin. He's had to go for that because, of course, he's not going major in his build. He has built a fresh rifleman that's just coming onto the field of play now, so he's going to go for that. Victory points are still in Hans' favour. Now just, say, retaking the north, but all the while Hans is in the centre, contesting the middle. Barred up with Volksgrenadiers. Good shot in from the Panther. Panzer IV pushing. Oh, great! Shoe mine goes off finally. Could we have seen the Panzer IV follow up on the Rangers? Could it get the kill? It's going to have to haul ass to keep up with them. Just in the field of view. Just in the field of view. Will he go for it? Yes! What a shot from Hans! Just getting the shot off. But the Pershing's angry. The Pershing senses blood. He's going to have to keep reversing out of there. In fact, I just pressed my 5th mouse button, which is my reverse button, because I'm trying to will Hans to keep in this series, trying to get to 1-1 so we have a mammoth series to watch. He's now turned around to face front, and he knows that Panther's on the field, even though it's not actually there, Jesulin, but he knows it's on the field, so he's too scared of it. Doesn't want to lose that. Incendiary grenade goes off on the Vet 3 rifleman. So now in terms of pop cap, they're both in the 60s. That is without, of course, any tanks recruiting, because there's no major to have any medium armour on the field with. Vet 3 Bard riflemen are contesting the central victory point, and for Jesulin has pushed, but we will see Hans take advantage of that Rangers wipe very shortly. New Rangers coming onto the field for Jesulin. MG34 going north to try and take that victory point back. We do have the Panther going south to try and contest with what's there. Have a quick look at what that is. That is rear echelon, so they're a bit outmatched by a 50-ton medium/heavy tank. MG34 going back to lick its wounds. It has had the pack howitzer, which is now Vet 3, literally raining fire on it all game, which confirmed the pack howitzer's on 15 kills. Vet 0 Volksgrenadiers doing what they do best, and they try and cap the centre. Not much of a deterrent offered by them. Bazooka rear echelon troops. So Jesulin is trying to get an array of anti-tank options. Do you know what would be good for HelpingHans at this point? Can you guess it? He's got 200 fuel. I'd love to see him use a walking Stuka against the AT guns. That would be fantastic if we saw that. It would be good synergy of play. It'd be interesting to see if we see that. Rangers coming to bear on the Stern Pioneers. Roquetten again getting wiped. That must have happened in the... yeah, just there. In the south, we've got both tanks trying to work to get back this victory point. That's what Hans is doing in this game. He's trying to put his units down in strategical places to allow him to cap the victory points. Great tournament play from him. However, there is a bit more parity with the victory points now. Hans himself is down to 325. We've got the Pershing only getting what kind of engine damage? Just normal engine damage there. And we do have smoke raining down as well, so Jesulin's not taking any chances. AT gun not doing much against the Pershing because it is an American AT gun. It does get the penetration because it was rear armor. Try and pan my camera a bit more slowly because we are having about 20 odd frames per second at the moment for some reason. I think my computer's getting tired. You're a bloody machine, computer! You're not meant to get tired. What are you doing? Nice pack howitzer shot on the stern pioneers. Do escape with their lives though. Well, one life, which is just enough for the Euros. Barred rifleman coming to bear on the Raketen. Could be seeing yet another wipe on that. Another pack howitzer shot, this time on the MG34. Well, not this time, in fact 90% of the shots have been on the MG34. We've got the Raketen of all things going for the northern VP. It does currently have the southern one. But the AT guns from Jesulin, although they're not the best AT guns in the game, they only cost 180 manpower, however, they are watching over the central victory point and allowing him to use his barred rifleman to keep Hans at bay. Of course, Hans has a bar in the south, and that's engaging another barred rifleman. Does destroy the Shrek, so there you go, the Terminator squad mix combined arms. The Shrek destroys the cover and the bar opens fire, and then the Panzer IV comes in for the kill. Interesting. Stamo Pet 46, I will not learn to say Pershing and Panther in this stream, so don't hold your breath, it's not going to happen. I will interchangeably say Pershing and Panther, but you have to think about what I'm talking about. It's like a meta game within the cast now, by this point. We're not quite close enough for an incendiary grenade there, there's no point anyway. Bloody good shot from the Pershing, it does miss though. Grenades chosen for the Americans, interesting. It obviously has got an abundance of fuel, as Jesulin. And what's this from Hans? We've got the Luke's 2 tank building. That's going to be nice for contesting the nether regions of the map. Of course, with his munitions, he's been spending them wisely. He's got, well, consistently throughout the game he's been spending them. Both tanks on 9 kills apiece. Here comes the Lukes. That's going to go straight north, you'd imagine. Try and contest these Rangers, who are currently denying Hans the northern victory point. And now what we see in this passage of play is Jesulin is battling hard to keep the victory points. 37 minutes, it's absolutely brutal to maintain your endurance whilst casting one of these games, I must say. If you've never done it, just try and talk for 37 minutes continuously. The Schwerpanzer headquarters does now go down. It has been under sustained fire from the AT gun, and the rear echelon was spotting for it. But the Lukes is under fire from the Pershing. Hans does not want to lose the Lukes. He's going to have to really think about what the Pershing is doing. This is a crux moment for Hans. The Pershing comes to bear on the Lukes. Shot goes in on the rear armour. Hans, you're going to have to get out of there, sunshine. He goes in front of the AT gun. Pershing misses. It goes round the field of view from the AT gun. However, the bazooka shot from the bloody rear echelons goes in. That does get the kill, in fact. So Luke's already diminished, but of course Hans has loads of fuel. So it's only really to consider the manpower that he's lost there. It's not fuel. It's not as bad as you might think. An AT gun has been wiped. Will he kill it? He will do indeed kill it. He does not want a crappy American AT gun, especially when you get to the late game and you're pop capped. Hang on. How much should that cost? So he's got no Schwerpanzer headquarters to look at anymore. I was going to see the cost of a Lukes in terms of manpower. I think it's quite low. It's about 300 odd manpower, I think. So that's all that really got lost there. The pack howitzer is destroying trees. Do you not care about the bloody environment, you... I can't believe that, Jesulin. We need those trees to regenerate the oxygen in our atmosphere, and you're just destroying them. I'm sure they will regrow. This is only 1944. Panzer's hull gunner and pintle mount coming to bear on the rear echelons. Pershing's repositioning. Panther soaking up an AT gun round there. That's going to have to get out of there. We've got the Raketen trying to reposition, but looks like, yeah, the Panzer IV will only eat one squad. Where is the and all this. It does get a kill on the Vet 5. Volksgrenadiers have died, everybody. The bloody wipe machine has really kept Jesulin in this game. It's now killed the Vet 5 Super Terminator squad. Dear God. Hans is going for the walking Stuka I thought he should have built instead of the Lukes. And Jesulin is really grinding Hans down at this point. It's been a really good effort from Hans, 40 minutes in. Even if Jesulin was to go 3-0 now, he's now got 400 odd viewers. I don't know how many viewers I've got. Yeah, indeed, 400 odd viewers that have can attest to the fact that Hans has taken Jesulin to the absolute wire in this game. So the Panther's being repaired. Raketin gets found out, does get nothing really, it's going to have to retreat. 40 minutes into this game. MG34 opening up on the rifles. The Raketin again gets wiped. Barred riflemen. There's 3 of them on the field. There's 2 rear echelons. There's a Ranger in the base. Hans is currently taking the northern victory point in terms of victory points overall. Hans has now gone down to 200. We've got Jesulin sitting quite pretty on 173. So, you know, Hans has done well to keep his tanks alive though. So although he only has 1 infantry squad against 5, he does have a Panzer IV tank to his credit, and he does now have the walking Stuka. No, he cancelled it. Did he? Yeah, he cancelled it. Damn. I really wanted to see him use a walking Stuka, to be honest. Hans, you're going to have to do bloody something, Sunshine. You've got 600 manpower. You're going to have to do something. You need to get back onto this field of play. You cannot afford to just relinquish to the Spaniard in this situation. Gun crew's been lost again. That must be the, yes indeed, the MG34 somewhere has been distinguished. Squad wipe machine is coming to bear on the stern pioneers. If they go down, Hans's luck could be up. Crew grenade go in to add insult to injury. Pack howitzer still raining fire on the MG34. A tail as old as time. Once he's got the truck coming onto the field, everybody's in base at the moment. Mechanised regiment headquarters is rather far back, which is for reasons of repairing alone. Hans is down on his luck. He needs his luck to regenerate. He needs to find it again because he's lost it for now. Pershing max range trying to kill this Raketin. And Jesulin's just shown his endurance in this game. He did not allow himself to falter. Hans has not made many mistakes, but Jesulin's just shown his absolute tournament pedigree. Indeed, we now see a second Panther for Hans. 150 victory points. He is triple capped. He is going to have to expand and try and get one back, but just look at Jesulin's army. You can't really see it happening. 33 kill, Vet 2 Pershing, nearly Vet 3. So Hans will need something miraculous to get back in this. He has got his 2 tanks. He will have 3 tanks shortly, but he has no capping power. So he's going to have to go in for an all-in push on the Pershing. But Jesulin has a wall. Thank you, Nord Kind Chen. It's probably no surprise to anybody that I have poor eyesight by now, and that is indeed a King Tiger coming onto the field. Its profile on the icons is a little bit smaller. I can see that now. Very well put. That will be the 600 manpower needing around 800 that Hans needed. Good point. Of course, there was no Schwerpanzer headquarters, so it couldn't have been a Panther. That's a little bit of fatigue coming in for me, the caster. Thank you for pointing that out. The King Tiger will be on the field very shortly. So it's going to be interesting to see what he manages to do with that. Obviously, it will be able to go toe-to-toe with the Pershing, so he cancelled the Stuka. He's gone straight for the King Tiger. But what is the old adage? Incoming heroes, King Tigers cannot cap points. And mines win games is the other one. So here it comes, the big lumbering beast, the behemoth is on the field. All the while this AT gun has been wailing on the battle group headquarters, so you won't even have healing for the Volksgrenadiers. Well, there we go! We've got a squad wipe machine from Hans, and it already does its damage. We've got the bar dropped from this rifleman, and by now Jesulin will be keenly aware. Oh god. Damaged engine for the Panther. He does not want that to happen. Damaged engine Panther is still quite a fast tank though. So if the King Tiger can get its fat arse into the centre. I've got contact lenses in. If KT can get its fat arse into the centre, it can save the Panther's life. It needs to happen. The Panzer IV has been focus fired all the while. It's been trying its hardest to get rid of some of these bloody AT guns. In fact, they do go down. I say bloody because obviously we wouldn't mind seeing the underdog in this situation win. The Panther's also got its arse exposed. Pershing comes to bear. Crew grenade goes in for good measure. 1,638 XP given to Jesulin because the Panther's down. The King Tiger's going down. It's surely a GG situation here. Hans just lost all of his units to the Pershing, showing just how powerful the Pershing can be. And the King Tiger's just going to be a fat mess and die. That is his battle plan now. Absorb punishment and die. It's about to die. Death is coming. It's soon to be an ex-King Tiger. GG surely about to be called, but it is a... Indeed, he was forced to call GG in this one. Just writing down the victory points. Well, that was a fantastic... In fact, both games so far have been really good. So although HelpingHans hasn't necessarily won. Also, can I point out that we now move on to our second map, which let me just get my own UI up because I've bloody forgotten what the second map is. The second map is... Oh, I changed it. That's not good. Did I put it on the countdown? Yeah, I put it on the countdown. There it is. The second map is Kolodny Summer. So the veto process worked. There were 7 maps, and I really like the system. If you're a tournament organizer and you're listening, the veto system I'm using for this tournament's been really good. How it works is, let me get up to. You've got 7 maps. Each player goes in turn picking a map out of the pool of 7. So the first 4 picks remove maps from the pool, leaving 3 maps. They then go through them. The first map that is picked is game 1 and 2. The second is 3 and 4, and the 7th is a decider. The player that does not have first faction choice vetoes first, leaving them to choose games 3 and 4 and the decider. And the player that does have faction choice first gets to choose maps for 3 and 4. Sorry, that makes a lot of sense. It actually works out really well. Just check out my rules if you want to use that in your own tournament. But let's get straight out of this. To be honest, I'm hoping the players need a break because I bloody do. I've just gassed. I think a long time. I'm going to have to use the emergency coffee supplies I have. Sorry about the hate. Mustafa from Sweden saying exceptional game. All that hate on Jesulin. I do not in any way. I don't know if you're on about me. If you're on about the extreme, that's fine. But just so we know, I love both of these players. They've both played in a lot of my tournaments. I have a lot of time for both of them. They're both community stalwarts that are playing in a tournament that does not have a big prize fund at all, in fact. It's mostly DLC and a little bit of stuff.